What's the dumbest way you've gotten a scar? I was in middle school and we were going to see Coach Carter in theaters with the boys' b-ball team. Middle school me was pumped. While in the shower I thought Coach Carter I bet they do push-ups in that movie. I'ma do push-ups right now. Tried to do a wall push-up. Slipped. Smacked my face on the edge of the tub. And split my upper lip open from mouth to nose. Needless to say, did not make it to the movie. My younger brother at a very young age, maybe 5 or 6, saw some older kids playing baseball, maybe 12 or so, and for some reason thought it was his team. He was not even on a baseball team. He was on a junior t-ball team. Anyway, he was wearing his sandals on the wrong feet because he insisted on putting them on himself. When he tried to run towards his team, he tripped and hit his head in the car door. He got staples and now he has a scar on his head. Which is hilarious to me because he's a soldier and has to keep really short hair. Another funny story about him being an idiot kid. One time we were riding our bikes. He was probably around 13 and he kept trying to do BMX tricks despite having no idea how. It resulted, as you probably can guess, in him smashing his face into the concrete. No serious injuries. But he had short-term memory. The ride home he kept asking the same question. Are we almost home? Which was annoying. But he's annoying, so I didn't question it and just got mad. He asked while on our street and I was like, dude, we are on our street STFU, and we start fighting. He's yelling at me for a minute and then instantly stops to calmly ask once again, are we almost home? The change in mood was so off-putting and I realized something was wrong, so we took him to the hospital. He's okay now. But he has a scar on his lip that now looks like a reverse Hitler statue when he grows his facial hair. I was head-banging my hair dry in the bathroom. I hit the counter. I was 8. I legit laughed alone in my empty office when I read this. A calamity. Indeed. Miss Jane. Thanks for the Monday morning smiles. Boys from my class were throwing CDs like you throw frisbee. One of those hit me right between the eyes. Still got a small scar there. My siblings and I loved that game. It's a wonder none of us got hurt. I used a pressure washer on my foot. Lazy me liked to iron clothes while wearing them when I was 20 years old. My left arm can testify. For my 8th birthday, a classmate got me something like a grow your own stalagmite kit you could buy at educational stores. Apparently, the purpose was to add water to some powder material and use a funnel in the kit to drip it down to make your own cave features. Exciting. I know. Anyway, I kept it and the other birthday presents I got in a cardboard box in my room. Evidently, at some point, moisture got into the box and the plastic the powder was in. And it began expanding. Having nowhere else to go, the stalagmite material oozed its way out through the narrow slits in its box and hardened into razor-sharp edges. I found this out quite bloodily when I put my hand into my birthday box to grab another toy and pulled it out with permanently altered fingerprints on my thumb, index, and middle fingers. I have a scar on my forearm from a weaponized paper airplane I taped razor blades to and launched with a rubber band. I was trying to squeeze between two cars. One of the cars must have had a jagged bumper because it sliced a 2-inch gash in my leg. At first I was thinking you were driving a car yourself and wondering how the beep you scarred yourself while inside a car. Trust fall with my brother. I trusted him. I fell. Playing manhunt. Some idiot made the campfire area base. I was running for my life to get there. Jumped this huge pile of firewood. Tripped over something and rolled right into the fire. It could have been so much worse. But I only burned my elbow and some of my hair. It's been probably 15 years and the scar is only about 3 inches long and 1 wide. I got hit on the bridge of my nose by a ceramic toilet seat when I was learning to pee like a big boy. Now I think about it, that's probably the best outcome there. I have 2 from when I was a kid. Running around in the dark on a school roof. Tripped over and ripped my hand to shreds. Jumping and sliding on a door that had been kicked in. Jumped straight onto a nail that went in my knee. I was a stupid kid. What do you mean by ripped my hand to shreds? I got cut by a vacuum. A beeping vacuum. I was 7. Mum said don't use that knife to cut that orange. I used that knife to cut that orange. Things I learned. Orange juice in a wound stings, but not as much as the knowledge you can't go crying to your mum. My mother and brother were arguing about ice cream cone sizes. So my brother stormed off. I followed him back to a villa thing we were staying at. He didn't have a key and we didn't want to wait, so I just punched through the glass in the sliding door to make an entrance. There were probably 1,000 other safer ways to do it, but it just seemed the quickest. Beeping ice cream cone sizes. Man. 7-year-old me was helping my mum iron clothes. I pulled on the cord. The iron fell and smacked me right in the face. I still have a scar above my right eye. Edit. Who the beep gave this a wholesome award? Come on bruh. Fur needle cut me across the wrist while playing hide and seek out in the woods. _fur needle _. My brother, sister and I all have the same kind of scar in our left eyebrow and got them at the same age. My brother opened an empty dresser drawer and smacked himself in the face. My sister ran into a brick wall and I fell off the couch onto a coffee table. Edit. I'm amazed how much this comment blew up throughout the day. Hundreds of comments. I took the time to read each and every one of them. Took a while, but I did it. Couldn't help but upvote each one. It was a pleasure reading each story, and it's crazy just how many of us have the same scar from a coffee table. Much love everyone. So I broke my right arm when I was a kid, then decided to put a cast on me. My skin under my cast is so itchy. It's like my skin is alive. When 2 months have passed, I decided to scratch my skin under the cast using a pen since my fingers couldn't reach further areas. While doing so, I accidentally put the pen further away inside that I can't remove it under my cast since I can't reach it. Then I just ignored it after that, thinking that it will be just fine, and I didn't tell that to my parents since they would be mad. After 2 months, they decided to remove my cast since it's already due, but the night before removing my cast, my mom noticed that my arm smells rotten. So fast forward. They removed the cast in my arm in the hospital. Then they noticed that the pen was penetrating my skin for months and the hole is about the size of a penny full of pus. I didn't even feel a thing. After that, the hole eventually became a penny-sized scar in my skin. Was about 4, broke a glass jar and sat on it. Gotta assert your dominance. Okay sis. Whatever you do, don't put your finger in the boiling sugar because it's real damn hot. And it sticks to you. Puts finger in boiling sugar. I'm one of 6 siblings. And my mom made us oatmeal for breakfast pretty often. When my youngest brother was maybe 1, he managed to stick his entire fist in a steaming hot bowl of oatmeal. It stuck to his skin and the burn was so bad it blistered almost instantly. One emergency room visit later, his hand looked like a little club from all the bandages wrapped around it. Before that burn healed less than 2 weeks. Probably. I don't know. This was like 18 years ago. My mom fixed us cocoa wheats for breakfast. And he shoved his other fist in it. He had 2 little white club hands for weeks while the burns healed. Miraculously. He does not have a scar from either incident. I climbed up the drain pipe of a school. Put my thigh in the spike that's supposed to stop me from climbing. Didn't stop me from getting to the roof. Edit. Spelling. When I was 5. I was spinning around in the living room and then fell face first into the coffee table. I have a scar on my forehead from that LMAO. I have one on the back of my hand from rubbing the skin off with a pencil eraser longer than the other kid did when I was 13 just to prove I was tough. Don't touch the iron, it's hot. Can't be that hot. Narrator. It was. My cousin scratched my face because I was very ill and everyone was taking care of. She got jealous and nobody noticed for a long time because they were focused on getting my temperature back to normal. Punching concrete. Don't ask why I did it, I have no beeping clue. Edit. Why is it every comment I fall asleep after making that blows up? When I deliberately cut myself. Not seriously. I just wanted the word ninja on my hand. Don't ask me why. Was in the Scouts whittling a stick for funsies. Except I was pushing the blade in the wrong direction and whittled my index finger instead. Drunk. And leaned down to kiss a strange dog on the nose. Of all things. 27 stitches down my nose later. I gave myself a scar across my eye because I was drunk. Watching Revenge of the Sith. And thought it'd look cool. Lifting a small supermarket trolley over a wall to impress a girl. Cut my arm on 2 nails sticking out from the top of the wall. My cat decided one day that feeding him was not enough. And full on grappled onto my arm, digging in deep. Got a pretty nasty infection from that. And now I've got 2 nasty scars next to my wrist. I got drunk on 4th of July and fell in a utility hole thing in my friend's yard and then got sunburned, so the scar never healed properly. I used to thoroughly enjoy sliding down grassy hills as a kid. One fateful luge led to me running over a hidden rock, resulting in a permanent rear tire puncture my right butt cheek. Was a kid. Only around 10 or 11. Thought my iguanas were fighting, so I went to take the boy off the girl. Spoiler alert. They weren't fighting. And I don't blame him one bit for biting me when I tried to break up him getting laid. I was heating up oil in the pan for the chicken. A chicken fillet slipped out of my hand and onto the handle of the pan. The pan flipped and launched the boiling hot oil all over my hand. It hurt. A lot. Kicked a refrigerator as hard as I could while wearing slippers after my sister told me she was getting a divorce. Fridge won, but I did get a dent in the bastard. I read that as your sister was divorcing you. I was concerned for a bit. I have a white dot from where a wasp stung me almost 20 years ago. I have multiple scars on my thumbs from slicing my thumb open on cans of ravioli and SpaghettiOs.